We have to tell him we're using third-party sources.
Yeah, we are in no way affiliated with anybody who kills Stephen.
Mm-hmm. Or smears feces upon his front door.
I wish I had that website that Stephen made so I could
Oh
mention
god,
him on the
yeah.
podcast.
The only trouble is that is a little bit overly rude because he's paying for the
Yeah,
bandwidth on that.
it's also super weird because also he's got like a silly photo up there.
And I say that, but we have like 4 viewers. So.
Yeah, as if we crash it whenever we post it.
It's like a DDoS.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: when we're like super famous in 2 years, people are gonna go back and listen to the early episodes here, and then they're gonna be like, "Hey, I'll check that out."
Oh god, see that was honestly the amount that we say when we come back and we're famous. It's just like that's just what's haunting us the most. We're never gonna get out of it, you know.
I don't know. When you get to around 100 views, then it's really when you made the big time and you know it. So.
Jogscast, like way back in the day, was being like, yeah, all like what 12 of you who watch consistently.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that anybody but Dane watches consistently, and I don't think he watched the second one. So
yeah, probably.
So that's how personal we are with our audience right now. We can shout out the members of our audience. My mom, Dane.
Did she actually watch like all episode?
She watched all of episode 1, and I think she watched part 1 of episode 2.
Now your mother knows more about me than I want her to, and I don't like that.
Well, maybe you shouldn't be on an internet televised webcast if you don't want people to hear things that you say. How much do you think it would change, and we're back changing, but how much do you think it would change the past if in 1940, when people were like, first figuring out how to make computers, like say you gave it to one of the big guys, like, I don't know exactly the time frame of Alan Turing's life, but maybe him. I think he was further back. He was like 1800s, 1940s, and the ENIAC and stuff. You gave them a Windows XP for Dummies book. Like just by them seeing what's possible and maybe like picking up from the language, like the ways that they did it,
Oh, I feel like it would just be like I feel like they would just be like bam done. Like I feel like they could just copy it right then and there.
Well, no, it's just Windows XP for Dummies though, so it's not like and here's how the kernel works. It's more like
yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's more like
I thought back then they were still using tubes. They weren't even using micro.
You're right.
Well, I know that like they wouldn't be able to like recreate it. What I'm saying is like they'd be able to like they would understand it like completely, if they like saw the kernel. But,
I think they would think it would be impossible though. They'd be like, wait, how would you make that much processing power? Or where would you store it?
They basically just like sprint towards that because back in the day they were like, oh man, this is really hard. We need to like have like can we like get this in like a house somehow? Yeah, let's work really hard to get that. But instead of doing that,
the biggest lofty goal they were working towards was like make a calculator that can do 5 + 7 without crashing.
Yeah.
But like,
and so they just be like, look, listen. Look, check this out. Look at all the things this can do. This is a calculator built in, and it's like it's in the back of the book. Like they don't even barely mention it.
Yeah, just like, and if you want to calculate, you can click here. But here's how you play pinball.
Yeah. So like we need to get on this, and like he probably like show it to the government or something, and they'd be like, yeah, let's get on this like right away. Like, can you imagine if we had like something standardized like this?
Mm-hmm. And you know what I bet it would be is like in the 50s and stuff, there would be a lot of stuff that was like trying really hard to be like that, but they just still have nowhere near the technology. So it'd basically be like it'd be the Magnavox Odyssey where it can only light up squares on the screen, but they would understand like what a UI is now, so they would like have an overlay UI that looks kind of like Windows XP, but then it's just like, and if you want to hit start, just light up this square, and it'd be like lighting up under the film on your screen with the start icon on it,
Yeah.
And it probably have like program selector as part of the like overlay, and you just like move the square overlay down the like that one.
I could definitely imagine somebody being like designing something with a lot more like user interface in mind,
Mm-hmm. And it probably would be Magnavox Odyssey style. Except Magnavox Odyssey was the 70s actually, so lighting up squares was a little bit beyond them even.
No, because back in the 50s they had displays,
Didn't they?
I feel
did
like
they? Like they just had ticker tape readouts and stuff for a while.
No, I feel like you could light up something. I feel like
you could definitely make a bulb light up, but they would have had like big old analog like bulbs,
Yeah.
I mean, how did TVs work then exactly? You had like vacuum tubes.
Yeah. So it basically be speed TVs.
But it'd be hard for them to even like think about it in the right like because pixels weren't really a thing then, so it would have been like, how are we going to make this TV say video on it or say Windows on it?
You got to keep in mind that the Magnavox Odyssey consoles don't come out at a time where it's like hard to make them. You know,
Oh, I know.
Like they could have made the Magnavox Odyssey about 10 years earlier.
When did Space War come out? Because that would actually be a pretty good indication. Because Space War was like
30s.
No, 1962.
Really?
Yeah, and Space War was done like it was done at like an institute. You know, it was like, okay, what can we do if we want to be the future?
Yeah.
So like that Space War 1961 is probably 1962 is probably a good indication of like how far they could push technology in 1962 in terms of video games.
Yeah.
So like we're talking 20 years before they could make Space War at an institute, and they just have this book about like this supercomputer, this like insane supercomputer, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I wonder how much because like you know
what were we talking about? 2001: A Space Odyssey for? It was insane supercomputer.
Yep.
What if he had Bryan Cranston's hair from Malcolm in the Middle?
We talking late Malcolm in the Middle, early Malcolm in the Middle? We talking jogging suit Malcolm in the Middle?
I don't remember that. Let's go with early because that's what I do remember.
Oh, I got what you did. I thought you were just saying something, and then I realized that because it's Hal, and it's Hal.
Yeah.
Don't you ever say I just walked away. I will always want you.
That right there. That is my
The
jam,
only reason,
you know?
Yep.
Brian, that I know any words of that song is because I sing about how I came like a wrecking ball.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's basically if you want to learn to hate someone and parody them out of a place of pure hatred, you have to understand them first, you know? It's like, didn't Sun Tzu say that?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he said, "Understand your enemy and troll the fuck out of them."
Yep, that's one for
the
one Sun Tzu
direct
quote. That's really the value of this podcast, is that we teach people history.
Your enemy,
Mm-hmm.
and then troll the fuck out of them.
Was that just a recording of Sun Tzu? Do we have tape recording technology from Sun Tzu's laboratory?
I think we do.
Can we get Slytherin Studios computing labs on this to find out who would win in a fight between Couch and Sun Tzu?
A straight up fist fight.
Yeah, no weapons. Just have Sun Tzu punch a ballistics dummy and have Couch punch a ballistics dummy and see which one takes more damage, and then run that with some numbers, and then have some actors hit each other that look like Sun Tzu and Couch.
Can I play Couch and get money for it?
I feel like you'd have an unfair advantage.
What? Actually being the Couch?
Yeah, that's not right. I think we need to get Dolph Lundgren for Couch and Jackie Chan for Sun Tzu.
Wait, who for Couch?
Dolph Lundgren.
All right, I gotta go look that up.
People have been wanting to see Dolph Lundgren and Jackie Chan fight for a lot of years, and putting it in the context of Jackie Chan, I mean not Jackie Chan, but putting it in the context of Couch and Sun Tzu would just really up the ante.
Mm-hmm, it definitely would.
All right, so I think it's about time to say this has been Alpha Beta Soup, weekly 1 out of 54, and we thank you for listening.
52.
It's 54 though, because we originally said 54.
Episode Omega, we said it was.
Right, episode Omega out of 54.
So the Alpha Beta Soup
Alpha Beta
Omega.
Soup.
Yeah! Bye-bye, baby!
Bye-bye.
Alpha Beta Soup.